Today we've had the much awaited vote on the flight time limitations, which brings in a harmonisation of European flight time limitations for pilots. You may remember that this was voted down by the Transport Committee, but I did predict that when it came to plenary we would have a vote in favour, and indeed today we did. This brings together 28 sets of rules from each member state and harmonises it in one set of rules. I think this is going to be a big improvement for air safety. I know that there has been some contrary views put forward. In the UK, all the three main parties were in favour of this change. Only UKIP have been campaigning against it, and I think for entirely Eurosceptic reasons. It brings in, for instance, rules pertaining to when pilots cross time zones. Now we have a situation where pilots crossing 4 time zones will get additional rest. We're getting shorter night time flying times, and basically a very, very good package. And it's the package overall that I think we have to look at, not individual parts of it. The second thing we've been doing this week is the second important thing is e-cigarettes and the Tobacco Products Directive. You'll remember that this has been a big campaign across Europe for those people who use e-cigarettes as a means of getting themselves off the habit of smoking tobacco cigarettes. The rapporteur, the Labour MEP Linda McAvan, was very, very insistent that she wanted these to be treated as medicines. But the Parliament has voted against that view, and that these products are actually consumer products and should be treated as consumer products. This was an ALDE amendment that was successful, and we have succeeded in not only delivering the right to use e-cigarettes, but a proper product control, so that they're not just open and without controls. I think overall it was a good vote. We've managed to make cigarettes less attractive to young people, but still retaining a large degree of freedom of choice. I would have preferred a little bit more of a permissive approach to menthol cigarettes, which the Parliament's position is to phase out after 8 years. I don't see any point in phasing them out at all. But we had a success, and had a particular success working with the Irish members of ALDE. We turned a lot of votes round to retain the 20 gram packet size for rolling tobacco, and I think this is really important. It's the standard packet size in a lot of countries, in Britain, Ireland and some of the Scandinavian countries. The 20 gram packet is the standard, and the original proposal was to increase the minimum pack size to 40 grams. So that's good news for those who use rolling tobacco and only smoke lightly. We've also signed a letter to the Commission this week. I've also signed a letter to the Commission this week on female violence against women and domestic violence. There is a convention from the Council of Europe that we are looking to try to get ratified across member states. So far only 2 member states have ratified it, and the UK is not one of them. So we've written to the Commission to ask them what they think we can do to speed up the ratification, so that once 10 member states have ratified it, then we can actually bring something into force. The final point I want to make this week, the final thing I want to talk about is border controls, and European border controls have been patchy, to say the least, over the years, and I think the terrible tragedy we've just seen off the island of Lampedusa suggests we need to make some real changes. There's 72,000 people still crossing borders illegally into Europe, so according to Frontex. So the EURES system will be voted on tomorrow to beef up border controls, but I think we also need to look at the patrols we have in the Mediterranean, so that we can pick up boat people coming from Africa rather than and pick them up early before they have these terrible terrible accidents, and I think that there's a number of accidents that have gone unreported because the boats haven't been found. But all those hundreds of people dying this week, I think, is something that we have to put an end to, put a stop to. So we can combine that with improving our border controls, and I think that will also help control the flow of illegal immigrants and also trafficking of people, which is another human tragedy.